this is going to be your first start, right?
Yeah, this is the first start. A long time coming, been working towards this, so I'm just excited for the opportunity.
I guess once Mike gets released, he kind of does the gears start turning your head and saying, "Hey, I might be the next man up here."
Yeah, even before that, right? It's just a matter of like staying ready and making sure that because Mike could go down anytime. And Mike, he was a great vet. He brought me along the way, taught me a lot of stuff. So I knew if my Mike got released, I was pretty sure that was going to be my time, and I was ready for it.
It's funny how football works like that, right? He takes you under his wing, and you end up, starting in his spot. It's a circle of life in football, isn't it?
That's exactly it. It's like survival of the fittest. So, like I said, Mike, I was one of my main vets, taught me a lot, and he just signed with Hamilton. So I already texted him. I'm happy for him. So I'm hoping we can both get a little something out of this.
Tell me about your season and how it's gone and how you feel about going into this game now as a starter.
Right, I feel great. Like at first, I was obviously just playing a lot of special teams and whatnot, and just trying to be a star in my role. And I think now I got a little bit of an elevated role. So now, what can I do as a receiver to help this team win? So I feel confident. I feel good. We just had a great day of practice, so I'm thinking I can help bring whatever it is the team needs to the team to help us win.
Guys are coming back too, getting healthy again. It's going to be a different looking team going, especially the last couple of games going into this one.
Exactly, that's the name of the game, right? Try to get a healthy team because I think once we get that and get that cohesiveness, we can really get the ball rolling.
Did you make the trip to Vancouver for the season opener?
I did, yeah, I did.
Must have been a tough one.
Yeah, that was definitely a tough one to swallow, and it was one of those games where you kind of have to flush it. But you keep it in the back of the mind because we obviously don't want something like that to happen again, right? So if you look at the depth chart from that game to this game, two completely different depth charts. So I think we've had a good week of practice. We prepared well, and I think hopefully we get a different outcome.
Oh, so return to the scene of the crime, but maybe not the victims this time.
Exactly. We're hoping it's the other way around this time. So just a matter of putting in the work and executing what the coaches put in.
Can you just speak to more of that? That roster was almost unrecognizable except for a few that are still left from that week one game. But how this team has progressed, and I know Coach is happy with some things, and he's using things like phrases like one better concentration in practice, smarter decisions within the game. But speak to how that progression is going.
Yeah, it's definitely been a bit of a roller coaster, right? Because, like you said, there's been some turnover, but I think one thing that's been constant is kind of like the core group of guys, right? And regardless of the room, I'm in the receiver room, and still we got like Kayla, we got Manny, we got D-Walk, we got Kai, myself, guys that have been here from the beginning of camp. And it's just a matter of keeping that core together, again, building that chemistry so that things get a little bit smoother on the field. And I think that is kind of oozing off to the whole team. Right now, people are coming together, getting that chemistry, starting to bond. And again, I think that progression comes with not only being on the field, but off the field as well.
When it comes to that concentration level in practice, when it comes to like a pre-snap penalty, how important is it not to go offside in practice?
It's extremely important because especially playing in BC, they're going to have a loud crowd, right? Yeah. So if we go offside here, the likelihood is that could probably happen in the game, right? So that concentration level, minimizing the flags in practice, it's only going to serve us well when we get to the game because the less you have at practice, the less you have in the game.
And if it does happen, how do you respond to it?
And that's the thing about football. We don't want it to happen, but it probably might, right? So when it does, it's a matter of just flushing it, getting back to the line, believing in what we put in as an offense, as a team, and executing the next play.
BC, Sask, back-to-back with Ottawa. It's a big stretch of games, an important stretch coming up.
Yeah, exactly. And for us, it's kind of just taking it 1 week at a time, but we also recognize the opportunity that we have, right, if we go on a bit of a run. So, again, our first game's BC, handle BC. We'll worry about Sask when Sask comes, but, again, we do recognize that this is a big run for sure.
Stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Chris.
I appreciate it,
man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks very much.
Yes, sir.